Hi, this is Masenya of Masenya Attorneys Incorporated, a law firm based in Centurion, Republic of South Africa. We boast 24 years of legal practice in the areas of commercial and tax laws. My professional team and I have over the years proved great success in assisting numerous clients with a myriad of commercial and tax matters involving millions of rands. We are skilled, experienced, qualified, and have the capacity to assist you. Email us at clients@cntlaw.co.za or call us 011-318-6592 or 084-383-7747. All consultations are strictly by appointment.
As a church leader, your time and resources are limited. It's difficult to find discipleship and Bible study materials that are affordable, easily accessible, and high quality. But there is a way to equip the people in your church every day of the week without losing sleep. Welcome to Right Now Media, the world's largest library of video-driven Bible study resources, used by more than 20,000 churches, schools, and organizations. With a Right Now Media subscription, everyone in your church can access thousands of biblical resources for kids, couples, small groups, and more. Give your members access to great content, anytime, anywhere, on any device.
And God specifically says, the way you think, that's not the same way I think.
Equip and inspire everyone in your church beyond Sunday.
Hello, my name is Lindy Sherries and I used to be a sangoma. In this channel, I talk about everything, guys. Abokorobela, the secrets that we were taught not to share with you guys, how we used to trick you guys, the spirits, how everything works when you go to a sangoma for consultation, yamatambo. So whether you believe in God or don't believe in God, please check out this channel so we can talk about it. If you believe in God, let's share the gospel. If you don't believe in God, you can check out the channel too. I want to hear your opinion and I want people to actually share their opinion, not insulting me without saying why. Thank you, and I'll see you on my channel.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me right here in Solomon's Temple. I'm trying to sort something out here. Some echo, right? Okay. See. Here we go. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're doing very well. Please let me know where you're watching from. Let's see this. Let me know where you're watching from. I would love to connect with you. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel also. Very, very important. I would like to talk about a very important issue. And this issue is around a guy called Okafo, who for me, that guy is a sorcerer. He's not a pastor. He's not a prophet in any way. He's a sorcerer. So please, if you know Okafo, do not consider him a pastor. He's a sorcerer. He's like a witch doctor, basically. Now, Okafo, as we all know, he runs a church in Nigeria. He travels across Africa, sometimes overseas. Now, this girl came out called Doris Egala. She came out and actually said she'd had a relationship with him for so many years. and they were fornicating. And then now all of a sudden he promised he was going to marry her, and she got married to somebody, and then he told her to leave that husband, and then he's going to marry her. Now he got married to another girl just yesterday or so. Now that's a problem. Now I know Doris Egala, and I do not trust her totally. She carries a spirit. I'm going to play you her video. She carries a spirit that you actually know. She carries a lustful spirit. She's about herself. She's about things, grabbing things. I do not believe her. I feel she's a liar in certain things, but I believe that she fornicated, or she was in sexual relationship with the so-called Pastor Chris Okafo. Because back in the day, about 7-8 years ago, this same Pastor Chris Okafo, he will come to Johannesburg, and he would be in a hotel and be having girls come in, and he's having sexual relationship with them. This is the same guy who now got somebody who is disabled, who can sort of like manipulate their hand. Their hand here seems to be disabled, and he hired the person, paid them to come and pretend that he was going to pray for them, and then there was a miracle. But here is a video of this girl who is not happy at all, because this pastor, so-called pastor, promised he was going to marry her, and he never did. And all of a sudden, he was getting married to somebody else, right? I'm just building the story. My point is not just about talking about Chris Okafo and a fornicating pastor. There are so many fornicating pastors. There are so many adulterous pastors. But my problem is when we have other pastors and prophets supporting them in their deeds, there's a problem. Here is Doris narrating how and what happened in her relationship with Chris Okafo. I'm sure you've seen this video, but let me just build the story a little bit for those who haven't seen the video.
Somebody should go and tell Chris Okafo that he will not marry you. Somebody should go and tell Chris Okafo that he will not marry you, not lie you. What are you leaving me for? No, forget about saying clouds or no cloud. I've not slept since yesterday that I had to deactivate myself to think this thing through. What are you leaving me for now? Okay, shame here. You people can insult me for all you care. And let me know what is going on with my life. Since this man fought me, my life has not been the same. I lost my younger brother. I lost my younger brother now. Chris, no, this marriage will not work. Who are you leaving me for? After sharing my naked video, turning your own miscarriage, the miscarriage I had for you, turning it to abortion. What do you think you want to leave me for, Chris? No, Chris Okafo, it will not work. Oh. No, you will give me fair before you make this marriage work. After destroying my life, what do you want to leave me for? You, Chris, no, it's not possible, Chris. Chris, it's not possible. I've not recovered since. Yesterday, I almost committed suicide now. People don't know what I'm going to do. I behave normal to you people. Can't you people see that I'm not okay? This man has just left my life and he wants to marry. It's not possible. No, nobody should tell. I lost my only brother. I can't prove juju. I can't prove witchcraft. He knows what he did. Because we are dragging money.
So, just the background, the video of Doris, she claims she had about a 7-year relationship with Chris Okafo. And then all of a sudden, he promised he was going to marry her, ask her to leave her husband, and then he dumped her and moved on. Now she's in a place where she's not happy. She's saying that marriage is not going to work, that she was on the brink of taking her life, and she's going through a lot. She was pregnant and she had to get rid of the baby for Chris Okafo and all of that, right? So that's the background of this whole thing. Now, Chris Okafo doesn't have just one girlfriend, 2 girlfriends. No, he has them all over. I want you to understand this guy. Forget about the tie and suit that he puts on. I'm going to play you his video now. After she made this video, on a Sunday, he went to church, and this is the video he made. Addressing this, Instead of taking responsibility, well, whatever she said, I didn't do nothing. I don't even know her, or I knew her from a distance. Fine. But never really mentioned it. He's trying to play around the whole story and not taking responsibility. This is
a young lady. You are just being arrogant, behaving, talking to people anyhow. You say, I know they respect anybody. I know well, oh. I know where finish, oh. Yet you are a young lady. You are not married. Now you they talk like that. Which man want marry who know where? Which man want to marry you when they know that you have slept with different men? God forbid. I know what I'm saying might be painful. But listen, the truth is better. It's bitter, but it's better for us. You are just arrogant. You see your senior, you cannot greet them. You'll be looking at them and misbehaving. You are doing all manner of things. And yet, you don't even have a father that have a name. There is no man that wants to marry a woman that is not submissive. There are many people saying, oh, when I marry, I will be a good wife. No, you are supposed to be a wife before they marry you. That's the problem. There are many women everywhere, but when you want to marry, you will know there are few wives. The Bible didn't say he that findeth a woman. It said he that findeth a wife, findeth what? A good thing, and obtaineth what? Favor. You want to marry, but you desire to marry, but you have refused to develop the capacity to be a wife. Men are not looking for women, they are looking for wife. So you have to be a wife first before a man comes to you. He that findeth a wife, findeth a wife. Ah, this girl is too submissive. This girl is teachable. You correct her, she will hear. That's what it means.
Okafo right there. Talking about her, all the stuff she said about him. Now he's talking about her without actually mentioning her name. So when you have a pastor that refuses to mention the person's name, there's a problem. They're hiding something. Secondly, refuse to say if what she said was true or not about him. Never address that. Thirdly, refuse to say what action is going to take. I'm going to take her to the police. I'm going to open a case. I'm going to go to court. She must make sure she never said that. Then how do you trust somebody like that who claims to be a pastor? There's no way you can trust somebody like that. You shouldn't. You shouldn't trust anybody like that, guys. They will come and then just, they don't want to dive into the whole situation. They just, float around, and then that's just it. But the sad part of it is, I'm going to play you this video, and I want you to tell me the voice of the person you hear there, right? This is him getting married, right? Getting on the day that he got married. This is him. And guess who was officiating that?
Of our faith and the Prince of Peace. But therefore, God, let no man put asunder. I, therefore, Matthew Ashimolowo, as a minister of the gospel, pronounce you, Christian, Okafo, Chioma Benedict, Reverend and wife.
Son and the Holy Ghost, I hereby introduce to you the latest couple.
Now, whose voice was that? That was Matthew Ashimolowo from Kingsway International Christian Center, KICC in London. I know Pastor Matthew. I'm not sure if you remembered me. I've interviewed him a couple of times. I used to, when I lived in London a little bit, I used to actually serve in that church, in the media department. But you would expect somebody like Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, with all the controversy around this, this charlatan, this sorcerer, to step back. But Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo went and officiated this. Was he paid? If you tell me he was paid, I would agree with you, because Matthew Ashimolowo loves money, and there's no problem. I don't have a problem with that. But as a clergy, as a pastor, you cannot just get money from that. This guy is going to be like, hey, pastor, here's a $50,000. Has Matthew Ashimolowo now totally embraced the whole Nigerian spirit of leadership. That was the voice of Matthew Ashimolowo. Let me play that video for you again so you watch it. Here we go.
Our faith and the Prince of Peace. What therefore God let no man put asunder. I therefore Matthew Ashimolowo, as a minister of the gospel, pronounce you Christian here to Okafo. Show my benedict. Government and wife.
Son and the Holy Ghost, I hereby introduce to you the latest couple.
So you see what they did. Small wedding, very intimate. There's a friend of mine there, Peter Side Ida. He was there. Ida Hosa, he was there. You know, there are certain things I'm not even going to say here. Let me just hold on that a little bit. But this is how we create generational sinful lifestyle and sinful leadership. Other younger pastors coming up will think it's okay. Now, I'm not saying maybe Chris Okafo and this girl, maybe they actually went their separate way last year or 2 years ago. I know this girl, sometimes she's like mental. She can come up and say, no, you know, we were in a relationship. He didn't tell me. I know her. She can lie. But I agree, and I know that they had a relationship, sexual relationship. But Chris Okafo is not taking responsibility. Then we have Matthew Ashimolowo, who is well known across Africa, some parts of the world, officiating this. Did he give them counseling? What sort of counseling did he give them? Why do you think Chris Okafo decided to have a small, intimate wedding? Because there's going to be chaos. People are going to come, not just her, but other girls are going to show up. He was afraid. First, he needs to come out and confess about his sinful lifestyle that he had lived. Confess that, yes, I'd had sexual relations with this girl, even though I wasn't married, we were single. He needs to take responsibility, which is what he's not taking at all. And I refuse to agree with Matthew Ashimolowo and the other clergies and pastors who were there in the present. Well, he might have told them another side of the story. I agree. He has his own side of the story, but they should have reached out to somebody like that, somebody like this girl, or even if you don't reach out to her, send somebody to ask her what really happened. Because you see, the charlatans are beginning to change the way we see sexual purity. The charlatans are beginning to change the way we see marriage. The charlatans are beginning to change the way we do courtship and relationships. They are redefining it. I was telling a friend of mine recently, I said the biggest mission field right now is not when you go to villages. You remember when missionaries used to go to villages, when they used to go to people who are not Christians somewhere. But for me, the biggest mission field today is some of these charismatic churches, Pentecostal churches, some of these prophetic churches, because they don't know God and they live in the midst of sin that is being promoted from the head, from the leadership. So I totally condemn the actions of Matthew Ashimolowo and the supporting pastors and clergies and bishops and apostles that were there. You guys didn't do your homework very well before you went out there to support him. You are endorsing something that is very dangerous. And may the Lord forgive you. May the Lord forgive you. And you're quiet. You're saying, you guys don't know the other side of the story. I spoke to him and this is what he said. You spoke to him, right? That's one side of the story. But you yourself, some of you guys who were sitting there as pastors and bishops, you yourself, you know that the fornicating life of Chris Okafo. You know that. But in the name of You want to be here, you want to be there. Oh, come on, guys. What have we turned this gospel into? I'm ashamed of all the clergies, the pastors, the bishops who attended, officiated, supported this wedding. Shame on all of you.